game of today. We have it here, second game of that best of 3, 1-0 lead for Infi, as you can see it. We're gonna reduce the volume of the Chinese gases again. Want to have some sound, but not all that much. And yeah, Foggy is still playing for his tournament, or not actually his tournament life, but he will drop down to the lower bracket, and who really wants that? Nobody, I guess. Of course, it is a tough journey from there. The Demon Hunter is idling a little bit. Is this already a tiny mistake from him? Is he, probably he might be nervous, because he knows, like, if he's losing that game, his chances of going, like, deeper into the deeper stages of the tournament will not be as great as they would have been if he wins against Infi. But Infi, of course, one of the contestants for the overall victory of this tournament, is not losing any time, goes for both of the camps at the same time. This is something that you can pull off as a human player, but as well as a night elf player. So you're super fast, spawns the second water elemental. This is important so that the third water elemental already gets off cooldown when you are about to start that creeping. We have one wisp in that location. He would need a second one there. That would be really beneficial for his detonates on the water elemental and just takes like way more damage. And you can see if the Chinese player is not losing any more time. Infi is already coming his way with the militia. 3 water elementals are summoned right now, and this is how you want to do it as a human player. But the only kind of misplay that he does is that the Archmage is attacking the creeps, and whenever you do that, you will be bolted. He tries to block that one with the Wisp. Immolation is being started immediately, and he's going for the big one. If this is not a healing potion, he's in a lot of trouble. He took so much damage on his first hero. Detonate will be used to get one of the water elementals killed. Then we see that he steals one. He wanted to steal Muddy the Mud Golem, burns down one of the workers. Should get the Trapper. Trapper also goes to Infi. Infi will be level 3 with the big mana potion, but can he really do all that much? All the worker numbers are dwindling here for the Chinese human player, but Infi can still do all that much against Demon Hunter. He just wants to force the town portal. He's willing to sacrifice a lot of workers for that, but also the amount of lumber. The amount of lumber is actually good. Tier 2 tech is kicking in here for Foggy already. Not sure if he's on 2 Ancient of Wars. There's a Hunter's Hold, fairly early Hunter's Hold, so he wants to follow up the aggression with the beautiful Huntresses, and he sells something to grab the the Boots of Speed, because he's not willing to let the Boots of Speed go into the hands of the Archmage here at this point. And speaking of the Archmage, he sold his own town portal to get the Staff of Teleportation and the Dust of Appearance. He knows that he cannot afford them for quite some time if he's not getting some resources for selling items. I'm kind of surprised that he's not selling the big mana potion. Of course, it can be crucial, and of course you want to keep that one, because then you can get like all the mana in the world to get more water elementals on the field. But he also denies the Staff of Teleportation to Foggy, and he really likes to play around with that item. Also, always using that one to get out of position, and always using that one to dive in deep, and then whenever it gets dicey, he uses that to go back to the main base, heal up. But for now, a few Huntresses are coming, no surround yet on the Demon Hunter. I need to be careful with that one. The 2 Huntresses are already hitting the workers. Immolation is being started. The bouncing glaives are attacking more and more of them. Can he attack the one worker? No, Infi his micro is on point. The Huntresses need to dive in real deep, or even attack the expansion to reach them and attack them. Level 3 Archmage can spawn another level 2 water elemental. Not sure if he went for evasion and immolation. It almost seems that way, because we haven't seen a single mana burn yet on that Archmage. So almost level 3 for the Demon Hunter. He will get a Panda in a second. Tier 2 should be done, I guess, as well. Or maybe he goes for aggression with a Shredder. Buys like both of the Shredders and is really aggressive, but I don't see that. He went for an all-in on Twisted Meadows. He's probably not going for an all-in again. He buys the Shredder at his home to have that one as a tool. The Panda is coming, the Pandaren Brewmaster with the 2 Huntresses. He's just juicing up with the Demon Hunter as well. A third Huntress is joining the party. And then we're gonna have like 2 heroes with a lot of firepower. And speaking of firepower, Breath of Fire and Immolation is going to set everything on fire at the expansion. Probably going to get like another round of workers. There's no Arcane Tower yet, I think. He killed the tower before, and this is delaying the tower for quite some time. One of the workers is already low. The Huntresses with the bouncing glaives, I said it, doing a really good job. He needs to kill the tower again. It will be a guard tower though. The footmen are also not that great against Huntresses and Immolation. Militias are coming to the party, and these Chinese guys, especially Infi, he's famous for fending off his expansion with the right amount of units, with the right amount of militia, and building the right amount of footmen. And then at some point he will transition out of that when he feels safe enough and he knows, okay, there's not much coming my way, I can easily pull this off. he's going for it, and he will like be all over the place with his units. Already saved a huge bunch of footmen. I think so far he only lost peasants, which of course hurts your economy and delays your tech, but in the end it's not that crazy. But this is a way better game from Foggy, and he goes for 1 Ancient of Wind, 2 Ancient of Lores. I like that. You can afford it if you have the Shredder. He's not going for an expansion plan. He gets the Ancient of Wind so that he can deny the Zeppelin that will get available at the laboratory as soon as it hit day. And we can see the clock in the middle is about to reveal that we are seeing daytime in a second. Daytime it is right now. Uses the immolation. Not uses the last hit. Now gets the Footman. Not level 3 yet for the Demon Hunter though. He will need Dryads, 1 Hippogriff, and then he will transition into that play with the bears again. I think he wants to try something something that Moon did on Ancient Isles, which can be really strong, where you go with that all-in bear attack. You probably try to creep like 1 or 2 big camps to get the Panda up to level 3, and then you transition into that super aggressive kind of playstyle. Dryads are coming, Hippogriff is coming, Zeppelin's already on the field, so playing into the hands of Foggy. Nonetheless, it still takes some time to do something about it. So the Zeppelin is not dying immediately against the Hippogriff, but of course he will be sniped sooner or later. Shredder is there, Ancient of War is in position to creep the natural expansion. Hippogriff will probably just go at it, he micros it, but also the Archmage and the level 2 water elements are attacking the Hippogriff. He's about to die, and as it seems, the Hippogriff cannot deal efficiently with all the forces there, especially the water elemental and the Archmage, almost killing that one. Well microed there, and he leaves 1 footman behind to buy some time, to get a few more towers done, to get like that shop done. The Archmage is spawning another water elemental. This is of course against Dryad's free experience. The tech is fairly late though for Infi, could be a problem, but he's not losing all that many units. Of course this is another water elemental, he's probably going for a deny, and yes, he gets that one. This guy got some crazy Dota skills. I'm not sure why he's not playing any MOBAs. Or maybe if he is playing MOBAs, he should go for a professional career course. I don't know. This guy got like some crazy skills. Ancient of War is tanking that camp. He wants to get the Panda up to level 3. Probably just what I've said. Teleportation step out of there to go back to his shop and heal up all his forces. Look at the nicely microed Footman. And yeah, it looks like the way how Moon played the last game. Maybe Foggy took a lesson from that. And took some, yeah, inspiration. Oh, he kills that big golem with that Ancient of War. That was a big mistake. Foggy, bro, usually you don't do that. It feels like there's really a lot of pressure on your shoulders and doesn't feel the way that it's like a good kind of pressure for you. He's trying to set that expansion up, so he's not going for the all-in. Not sure if this is the right plan. Cancels all the healing. This is actually being played live right now in China. Golden Cup series it is. We're gonna do a restream of the stream because I think the production value is amazing. We have like the picture of the players. You can see the players watching their screens, alter the emotions when something happens. So I really like that one. So I'd rather go for the restream than go on NetEase and try to stream it myself, because it will be spiky and delayed. We have another water elemental granting some experience points to the Night Elf player. Infi seems to be kind of trapped on his side of the map, cannot do all that much, but should be tier 2 already. And if he is committing for that tier 2 push, I wouldn't be surprised that both Arcane Sanctums are already done. They should check the base in a second. Now they're going for it. So Sanctums are being built, upgrades are kicking in, Mountain King is coming. Archmage is not able to get a cancellation of that expansion. Beautifully done there by Foggy. But now he needs to get that Panda up to level 3. He will need that one. He will need Master Bears. He will also need upgrades for the Bears so that they can encounter an even battle. The Huntresses should be killed at some point to open up the supply, because right now he's about to have the limit, 49 out of 50 supply. He cannot do all that much. Should set up like 2 or 3 Moonwalls at a time. Expansion is of course also being built. This is still struggling to complete. We have the Zeppelin coming in with all the footmen, and this could be successful. This could be successful. The footmen are hitting the Tree of Life. The Archmage is coming. He will have some additional forces. We have that beautiful defense being used, and it looks like it was the perfect time. Infi splitting his army into 2. The footman and the Zeppelin, and the Hippogriff not able to find it. He just needs to pay the price of a town portal. But he was cancelling it at the perfect time. If he was any later, the expansion probably finishes in time. But now He got all the time in the world, a bank of 1,400 gold, the cancellation on the expansion there from Foggy, gets the upgrade for the sorceress, knows that he got some time, is not in a rush to get everything together here for his final blow. But yeah, this was just perfectly played by Infi. This guy is on fire today, and his Knight of matchup is probably the best that there is at this point. I have never seen a human player so strong and so convincingly like moving over the map. And an Invis potion with the Archmage again. He even bought a invulnerability potion. He will definitely get another cancellation of that building. The Dispel on the Water Elemental is real. Can the Archmage take it down in time? Uses the Invo potion there. The surround is real, but probably the auto attacks from the Archmage are enough to kill that expansion. He needs to use the Drunken. Yes, some of the hits could miss. The Water Elemental about to hit. He dispels it in time, and this was beautifully done by Foggy. But the expansion is so damn low at this point. But the immediate dispel, that was so important. If the Water Elemental gets like 1 or 2 hits off, it's already like in a really bad spot. The Hippogriff scouts the army. Mountain King in the meantime was even creeping, is up to level 2.3 already by creeping the mercenary camp. And Infi is just so on spot with everything, like being aggressive, in the meantime creeping a second hero already, taking a big camp there, taking a nice Sobi mask for his Mountain King. Archmage trying to cancel that building, as it seems like the sentry wards now need to really do something. The sentry wards need to be really good there for Foggy. He needs to catch his opponent off guard and at least take like 1 or 2 good fights. But also a gyrocopter is already active on the map, scouting on the movement of the native player, so that Infi is not overcommitting to any kind of a bad engagement or a creepjack. We will not see that, but Foggy on the other hand steals both of the healing scrolls of the shop of the human player, so 0 heal scrolls for him for quite some time. He can of course get them at Foggy's shop. But yeah, this is quite a journey to make over on the map. 1,000 gold, still 49 supply, not paying any taxes on his income. Still on 2 gold mines ever since the game started. Mountain King with Bolt and Bash. No Clap, which is of course the right choice against a Demon Hunter. And a pretty high Demon Hunter. He's already level 4, kills another Footman. This was also probably a deny. Not 100% sure though. The expansion for the native player is finally done. We see that the Panda is diving in. Immolation from the Demon Hunter is doing some damage. He wants to kill the shop, and killing the shop is always great because this is lowering the production of the breakers. Without the Arcane Volt, you cannot build breakers. Another Breath of Fire would be amazing. Another Breath of Fire hits the workers. We have a Fury Dragon already up in the air. Master Bears are hitting, and this seems to be a really great fight for the Night Elf player. Can Foggy turn this around? Can Foggy win this game? It looks really good. For some reason, Infi was holding on way too long to his production. Finally, he starts producing units. First mortar team is out on the field. The peon line is about to be, like, I think all of the peons in the gold line are dead, so he's basically not mining anything. There are still woodworkers. One of the Fury Dragon dies, another bolt on that Demon Hunter, but in the meantime, the Dryad's doing a really good job dispelling the Water Elemental again, killing militias, and this is just too small of an army to deal with that. If the Dryads now get more connections on the breakers, they are already kiting them down. A heal scroll is being used immediately to get everything back to full HP. There's no more Town Portal. He will get a few more pickoffs, and this is so well done by Foggy spotting that. And we had a tier 3 tech coming in. Is Infi playing cocky? Did he feel like, oh, I got this in my pocket already? It almost feels that way. Going for the tier 3, not going for the tier 2 push. And now with the beautiful hits, there's of course, he needs to be careful with the Dryads, micros them away. Not sure if there's a Staff of Preservation already in play for the Ukrainian Night Elf player. That rejuvenation was a little bit optimistic, immediately being stolen by one of the breakers. So a tiny mistake there. But the expansion is there, he gets the Nature's Blessing, 71, 73 supply, he gets Fairy Dragons, he gets everything that he needs. The Demon Hunter is already going up to level 5 by finishing that Goblin Merchant. And he will probably buy a few more heal scrolls. 51 supply only for the human player. He will be tier 3. But at what cost? He lost so much. 51 supply, barely paying taxes. Kinda pinned now down to his side of the map for quite some time. Until he can establish a good army count. He gets the second attack upgrade for the mortar teams, as well as the shrapnel upgrade there. So the Dryads will just vanish in a second. The heal scroll on the Panda will of course be really good. Demon Hunter is hanging in the main base, not sure what he's doing there. Probably got a Staff of Teleportation to connect himself with the army. No, he just started running, probably bought that Orb of Venom, as well as the Staff of Preservation. And what a beautiful game by Foggy, like coming back into that game slowly but steadily. I really like that. Sends in 2 units into the red spot, probably sacrificing his huntresses. Looks that way. I think he just sacrificed 2 of his huntresses, which makes sense, because you cannot really use them anymore. There's absolutely no use for them at this point. And Foggy, if he's not doing a crazy mistake, he seems to be on equal conditions. Seems to be 50-50 at that point. A lot of bears. I hope he's upgrading the bears as well. Chimeras would be huge. Against tier 3 humans, always get chimeras. Chimeras are awesome against mortar teams. They are awesome against knights. And in general, there's not too much that counter them, especially if you have a panda on the field. If you have a panda and he goes for gyrocopters, breath of fire into the gyros, they just completely got annihilated by that. But Foggy gives Infi some time to creep his 3rd hero right now. A paladin is already there on the field for him. But if he gets both of the red cams, that would be so huge. 80 supply for Foggy already. Infi is rising in supply as well. 64 supply though. Still struggling to catch up to the Night Elf player ever since he was hitting him so hard at his expansion. Panda gets some more experience. We have the scouting there. He will try to steal one of the creeps with the bolt through the forest. Nope, not going for that. Would have been beautiful though. Mountain King 1 heal scroll. The Fairy Dragon out of position. It's about to die, but can be healed. And an Invo Potion was randomly used, so there are some like signs of being nervous. Absolutely, the Demon Hunter just used like an Invo Potion for absolutely no reason. I hope he is really not crumbling under the pressure. It feels like it's an intense situation here. Of course, it's a match against someone like Infi that if you're not as experienced, is definitely a hard challenge for you and also for your mental state. But I hope he can deal with that. Uses a lot of illusions, pops that anti-magic potion. We need to see the Fairy Dragons diving in. So far they're not doing it. The Panda will try to dive in, but the Dryads need to be very, very careful. Demon Hunter is diving in with that anti-magic shield. Is now being dispelled. Fairy Dragon now in a perfect position, but the tier 3 mortar teams doing a great job. The Illusion Knights! The Illusion Knights tanking up all the damage. This is a huge mistake. You should have tried to dispel like a few of the Knights so to see if they are real or not. I think all the gyrocopters are gone, so heaven for like a few of the... Nice, he bolts an illusion. He's not bolting the right Demon Hunter. It's still a good game for Foggy though, don't get me wrong. Not too many units were killed yet. The fight continues. The mortar team is doing a great job. The shrapnels are doing it. The breath of fire gets the connection, but not killing anything yet from Infi as it feels. Demon Hunter and Panda are going at it. No unit killed yet. The Shredder will be the first one to kill. The Knight gets stepped out with the Staff of Sanctuary by the human player. Healed up at the main base. Will he kill that Knight or is there another Holy Light? 2 upgraded Knights go at it. Both of the players used their Staff of Illusion, and as it seems there are still a few gyrocopters in the air. He did a poor job with his Fairy Dragons, to say the least. They were just not microed correctly and not microed on top of the casters. Should have done that, of course. One of the bears is now caught off guard, and Foggy seems to crumble a little bit here. The towers got cancelled, of course. He wanted to set up a few towers. Is going for it again. 3.5 Mountain King can be scary. Panda not yet level 5 is going for the main base to juice up again. The expansion is there into play and is in a really good position. The Moonwells look pretty good. Like the juice in the Moonwells is really impressive. But the towers are coming, and Infi is such a good strategic player. He will almost play like a surgeon. He knows like, I do this and then I set up a tower here. I will just let them construct, fall back into it. The Dryads are now going for a flank. Want to catch a few of the reinforcement, for example like a few castles or anything. The Panda could actually try and go for the expansion there and try to burn a few of the workers. Step in as soon as he sees that the human player is coming. Bolt goes down on the Demon Hunter. He needs to burn that hero. Dryads are now coming from a flank. Breath of Fire hits the gyrocopters, immediately gets rid of 2 of them. But the mortar team's doing so much damage. Now one of the guard towers is finished. Demon Hunter is bolted again. For some reason he cannot get his mana burns off. Heal scroll is being used by the Night Elf player. He needs to dive in. Where are the Fairy Dragons? No more Fairy Dragon in the air here, which is a mistake in my eyes. He should have that. A Breath of Fire perfectly doing so much damage. Demon Hunter now in the middle of everything. The Mountain King doesn't have a bolt, doesn't have a mana potion. Does he have a Staff of Preservation? Yes, he does have that. Staffs out the Demon Hunter, but now the Panda remains and takes a fight against 2 upgraded Knights with the Bears that are all slowed. The Dryad numbers are dwindling, they are all gone right now. And now we can kite him for ages. This is not looking good for Foggy. Panda is still not level 5. With an Invo Potion, he's going deeper into that fight. Now he's being attacked. Is the Mountain King able to bolt him? Not yet. Staff of Sanctuary saves another Knight. Demon Hunter is coming back to the party. 1-2 mana burn is being bolted before that happens. Immolation is being used there. He needs another Breath of Fire. I think the Staff of Preservation is on cooldown. No, it's of course off cooldown again. He needs to have another Breath of Fire for all the workers. Where's that one? Where is that one? He needs to get it. One more mana. And there it is. He kills like a lot of units. But speaking of a lot of units that die, all the bears are dying. Not a single Chimera. And without chimps, what can he really do? It seems like Foggy really went for a super horrible fight there. There you can really see who is like an experienced player in these kind of situations and who is still a newcomer to the scene. Death of Teleportation to the back. 2 of the Knights are super low. He buys probably a second Staff of Sanctuary as well as the Scroll of Regeneration to heal up his units again. But yeah, the experience is kicking in here for the Chinese player that was able to take like championships back in the day and also today. He's a great player and he's performing really well. He doesn't feel any pressure as it feels. Because why would he? He has been in these situations for ages. On the other hand, we have someone, Foggy, still a newcomer to the scene, like to the pro level of Warcraft. Never really had that kind of a feeling playing offline against like a top-notch player in a tournament environment where you can go into like a really deep run if it goes good. Now even the mortal teams are hitting the Granite Golem. That Granite Golem were stolen with 1 archer hit by Loliad in a Night of Mirror that I have seen recently on Loliad's stream. That was amazing. But we will not see that in this game. Not sure if the Knights are upgraded 3-3, but we do see Inner Fire. The lack of Fairy Dragons is of course tremendous and it's not doing a great job for him. He should definitely get like a few Fairy Dragons because they are so amazing against the casters. The Panda is out of position, he dodges the bolt by the use of an anti-magic potion, but the Knights are doing such a great job and usually they're crumbling so hard. Breath of Fire is used. Is there a heal scroll? Probably there is one for the human player. Needs to be careful with the Panda Staff. That one out, heal scroll in the very last second. And there's nothing dying for Infi. In the end, able to take that one 2-0 without too much trouble, and you can see it. Foggy is like, okay, I tried my best, but it doesn't seem enough. And there we have the guy who doesn't give a fuck about everything that happens. He is just like, no, this was just a regular day on stage. I have done this before. This has been easy. Maybe expecting a tougher opponent. But yeah, I thought he might be doing a really great job here. I really cheered for Foggy and I wanted to see him play a really good game there, but yeah. Didn't work, guys. It did not work. Too bad. Just too bad. Nice legs. Is the stream lagging, Mr. Krillix?